Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my budget makeover of the Streamlet Single, which is a starter home in Willow Creek, and this is part of a battle collab that was once again arranged by Havana Sims, and I have here a list of all of the Simmers who are participating, and I will have a link to a playlist down below where you can go watch everybody's videos, including mine, and there will also be a link to the voting, because yes, there is voting, and Havana is touring all the renovations on Twitch today, May 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern, and the rules are there on the screen. We could change the shape of the home, but it had to include a garden and porch. The value of the home was to be $20,000 including the lot, and there were certain packs we couldn't use because Havana doesn't own them. Now, to start with, what I did was essentially take everything out of the house. I kept the actual house shape, but I deleted all of the interior walls and the windows. Not here. Here I'm deleting the interior walls and all of the landscaping outside because I just added my own later when I was doing it. And there I did change the shape of the house, you can see, and I have the windows there. The windows. The lights there for now. They may get changed later. I can't exactly recall. But I changed the layout of the house. In the original house, the bedroom was at the front and you walked by it to get to essentially the living room, and the bathroom was like on the other between the bedroom and the living room. And then there was a small kitchen off of the living room area kind of thing, and you ate in the living room. It was a living room dining area all combined, but I decided to put the bedroom off the back so that it's not like on what would be a road. Of course, there's no cars, no real noise in the game, doesn't really matter, but I just preferred the idea of the bedroom at the back of the house and then having a big open living area for the dining, kitchen, and living room. As you can see how it is, that ends up being one big open room. But I also gave it a half bath. That's why there's sort of like the two rooms. So there's an ensuite off of the bedroom, and then there's just a half bath being a toilet and a sink off of the living room. So if you have people coming over, they don't need to go into your private bathroom area, that's yours, but they have a toilet they can use and a sink to wash their hands. So up here at the front is where I put the kitchen. I used the door from Seasons because this is a budget build, as I said, and that is only 50 simoleons. So it's kind of big. It's 3 notches, which I kind of would have preferred it to be a bit smaller, but it just was worth it because that's like, I like the look of the door, and it's so much cheaper than many of the other doors you would use as a front door. And you see, I did start with like the second cheapest fridge, but I decided to, like, you're doing a makeover, you're trying to pretend you're trying to sell the house, so I gave him a decent stove that's from Parenthood, and the fridge is from Jungle Adventures. Both of them are reasonable quality, still not like top notch, but decent. And I'm pretty sure that stuff at the door goes because later on a lot of stuff leaves because I'm like, oh, I don't have money for that, because you know, you can see there I kept looking at what my value was of the lot, which the lot is worth $1,500, which meant I only had 18,500, or we only had 18,500 for the house, but so on the gallery it could only be worth 18,500, but because I'm actually on the lot, it would include the lot value of 1,500, so I could go all the way to the 20 in this case. So there were a number of changes I did off camera when I was like fixing things up, and then, or I realized, not only that, I realized that I'd forgotten, like, say, a bookcase, which you won't see me adding in this build at all. I added it after the fact, so I changed up a few things to let me have money for that, to say the least. But so the total build value on the gallery is 18,499. I gave 1 simoleon under the budget. So with the 1,500 for the lot, that's 19,999. So I came very, very close. That garbage can is one of the things that changed later on because I got the cheapest garbage can, which is funny because I was always only 1 under. And then I had to like try and find the money to get the bookcase because I realized when I was taking some before and after shots that the original place had a bookcase in it, and I had forgotten. I usually add a bookcase, but I had forgotten in this build to add a bookcase, so it was just kind of funny. So anyways, so here's me adding a little bit of landscaping back, but I'm being a little bit, you know, sizing the two flowers up so that they take a little bit more space, and they seem to be a bit more, you know, of a garden because of that. Now the roof here I changed, I think, quite a lot, if I remember correctly. And here, but we get to that later. I put the covering on the wall outside and the foundation first, and those plants are something that disappears. I figured you can't see it from the front anyway, so it didn't really matter too much, and that tree gets moved over to the left hand side because it didn't really look as good in the picture having it where it was, so I move it over. But the house does keep that. So here what I'm trying to do is a bit of a sunroof in this little spot, so that I like really adding sort of sunroofs with the glass roofs, because I find that it adds a lot of light to the game. Of course, it depends on your graphics settings, but I do play with Ultra, and so the light coming through there is really, really nice in the house, and it just adds brightness to the house too. So that's what I did. So I may have cut out a little bit of this roof because I was playing with it a little there, because I realized also inside it needed to have some covering, but I can't remember. Yeah, I think I maybe leave it like that. I can't remember exactly, but that's essentially kind of what it looks like. I think I changed that front porch at some point. Yes, the front porch roof, I should say, is what I changed. I changed it to this. I make it all bigger, but that's what I end up changing a lot, and I think I did that off camera because I didn't like the way that looked with it all the way to the front, so I end up giving it like a little smaller, more similar to what it was that I got away with, got rid of there, and then I put it back so it's kind of similar a little bit. So anyways, and then you have that issue there because it's sort of, I wanted it to be long on the side, so I essentially put two pieces of roof, so one was shorter and one wasn't as short, so that it's like not cutting through. That was the best I could do. So there's my chimney, because of course I added a fireplace to this build because I like to have fireplaces in the builds. I think I like them even more with seasons. Before that I could give or take a fireplace, but with seasons it's kind of fun that Father Winter comes through there, which I know I've said before. Plus Willow Creek is very cold in the winter, so they like to warm themselves at the fireplace. It's kind of a nice thing. So here's where I'm like, okay, I don't have the money. I get rid of a lot of this stuff. And I wanted to put a computer in there because, a computer is a way of making money. And the little cushions they're from the toddler stuff pack. That ends up changing colors because when I later realized I was missing a bookcase, I got rid of them. And then I realized I had enough money, so I added it back. I couldn't remember what color it was, so I just picked one that I liked that also goes just like that. So yes, a lot of the decor items change later. The rug stays the same. The little table there, I do show you the roof. So here I'm redoing the roof a little bit, adding that out to the front, and but it looks a little different than what it was before. It lines up a bit better. I changed the flooring on there. It's still white, but essentially it's the white of the same flooring inside instead. And the reason I like adding, the reason I liked adding not having the flooring at the stairs, those are free, is because with seasons, when you go out, they sometimes fall in mud puddles. And I don't really like that, so I like to put some actual flooring there. But here we have a lot of before and after shots of what it could look like. A little bit harder with the main living room because it was one big room versus, split into a couple of different rooms, but you can see that there. And just a few different views of the living room. There's the kitchen. Obviously it was in a different location. There's the kitchen afterwards, which is up near the front with the windows. There's the bedroom, which used to be at the front and now is at the back instead. I have never used that little decor item that was there, but I quite like it. And there's the before bathroom, of course, different location. And there's the 1.5 baths afterwards. And there's just sort of the roof and the floor plan that we'll be seeing how it is. But that's kind of it. It was a small house. It didn't really take that much. It was more the issue with keeping in the budget was really all it was. So here's some screenshots from the gallery, which shows the information that is on there. Well, when I took the video pictures here, it wasn't on the gallery. It is now on the gallery, and I will have a link down below, as well as I said, a link to the playlist with everybody's videos, makeovers, a link to the voting, and a link to everybody's channels and their Twitter. Don't forget to go head over to MapleSimmer's Twitch to see everybody's too. That's another way to see it. And don't forget to vote. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye! This has been Jennifer. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more videos of challenge, let's plays, tutorials, and occasional speed builds, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks very much!